to draw this adorable Perry the Platypus? If so, you are going to need something to draw on, something to create your doodle with, something to erase any mistakes that you might make, and a marker to outline your doodle. Then you're going to need crayons, markers, colored pencils, or paint to add color to your wonderful doodle. Grab all of those supplies and let's get started. Let's draw our big Perry the Platypus. We are going to start with our paper in a vertical. So we are going to have it skinnier on the sides but taller in the middle, and that is so Perry can fit on the paper. He is going to be standing up, and this is going to be more of an adult Perry, whereas the other day we did a little baby Perry. So we are going to start with a curved point for his hat. So kind of like maybe the tip of a crayon might look. So it's just gonna go up on the sides, curve, go to a point, curve, and come back down. And that's just gonna be the middle part of his hat. He's got on kind of that Indiana Jones style hat. Now I'm gonna do kind of another curve that's gonna come up and down, but it is not going to be quite as pointy as that curve. And this is the bill of his hat. So we're just seeing the part of his hat that connects to the bigger part of his hat that goes on his noodle. And then we're gonna add just a little stripe there on his hat. Just a little stripe on the little, I'm gonna call it an Indiana Jones style hat. And then we're gonna come down and up. So this kind of looks almost like a diamond shape. And then I'm going to come right underneath that diamond shape and I'm going to make a pointy triangle shape. And I've worked from his hat down into his face. And I'm going to go from each side, I'm going to curve around and down. So this is kind of going at a curve down, and this is his beak. So there's the top big skinny oval of his beak. And then underneath, we're just going to make kind of a curved shape. And that's the bottom of his beak. So that helps us mark out, since we moved on from the hat down into his beak, that helps us figure out exactly where his eyes are gonna fit. So I can come down on both sides where his hat is here. I'm gonna skip around and I'm gonna go straight down, and that is now his head. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here, because your hat fits right on your head. So you can't have the hat be smaller than your face, because it doesn't make any sense. It could be bigger, but then it's gonna fall over a good chunk of his face. Now out here where I ended his hat, we wanna help kind of make his hat look a little more 3D. So we're gonna kind of curve some lines back in to his head, and that would be the part of his hat from the back sitting on top. So it makes it look now like his head is inside the hat. All right, let's skip his eyes, and we're gonna keep going down with his body line here. So I'm gonna come down maybe about 1/2 inch past his beak. And now we can go ahead and figure out where his arms will go. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave maybe about 1/2 inch. So about the space I did there, I'm gonna leave that, and I'm gonna continue my line down. And this line here is maybe 2 inches. And I'm gonna scoot down and do the same thing over here. So maybe about a 2-inch line on each side. And those openings are gonna be for his arms. So now I can go back up and create his arms. So I'm gonna kind of curve down and just a little bit out, kind of like this would be the part where your elbow would be. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side and kind of curve in. So now we've got kind of the upper part of his arm and the middle part of his arm. Then we're gonna add in fingers, and his fingers are just going to be tall, oval shapes that are just, he's got 3 fingers and a thumb. So you definitely want to make sure you get 3 fingers and the thumb in his picture. So there we go. So we've got one arm. Now I'm going to kind of just copy the same thing over here. So I'm going to kind of curve out in a little bit and then back out. And in and back out. Now we got his other arm. And now we just need to make those fingers. So we're going to do maybe 1, 2, and 3 there. And then we need his thumb kind of right there. And now he's got his 4 fingers over there. So now we've got the base of his body here so we can draw his legs. And we're going to draw him kind of in a stance like he's trying to get a bad guy. So I'm going to come out from this line with kind of a curved, not quite a C, but it's going to curve out and come back in. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Out and back in. Kind of like a boomerang shape, not quite a C shape. And then I'm going to come about halfway, so this would be his knee. I'm going to come in about halfway and I'm going to draw a line down, more of a straight line. And then right in the middle here, we're just going to do a slightly up curved line for in between his legs, because he's standing like he's trying to get a bad guy. And then I can curve his ankles here. Curve those together because he is that teal color, but his feet are a orange. So now I'm going to come out and make a bunch of little curves and curve back around for one flipper. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to curve out and do the other flipper. And now we've got his legs, his feet. We've got him in his stance. Now, before we finish off with his eyes, I'm going to come over here and add in his big platypus tail. So I'm going to come out and then I'm just going to go straight down into the back part of his body. And he has those lines. I'm going to do those in marker and color his tail with crayon because they are just a darker version of the tail. And now I'm going to come to his eyes. I'm going to follow this hat line here and I'm going to give him kind of a angry looking eye. Do the same thing over here. Give him kind of an angry looking eye there. And then I'm going to curve down and in. And the same thing over here. Give him his eyes. And then I'm going to add a very small little pupil right there. And we would leave the rest of his eye white. So there we have our little Perry the Platypus. Look at how cute he is. I can't wait to add color. So go ahead and grab your markers, paints, crayons, colored pencils, whatever you want to use to add color to Perry, and let's color him in. Look at how cute our Perry the Platypus turned out. He is super cute. If you had fun doodling him with me today, please like, subscribe, and share the video. And I cannot wait to see you again next time. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.